Now, when I look at a horse for sale, whether it be a foal, a yearling, mature, or whatever, I take into account what the seller is asking for the horse, and I compare it to the value that has been put into the horse already. There are several factors that affect value in my opinion, and I am going to go into depth about some of these. What I'm going to cover is personal taste, DNA verified genetics from reputable and successful lines, age, sex, proven breeder, because breeding is important to me, show status, not necessarily as important to me, however, there's something to be said about the accolades earned from showing, and must be GVHS registered, and must have the personality to mesh with me, and training is also taken into account. Alrighty, now in this part of the video, I'm going to take two horses that are for sale, and I'm going to compare them using those factors and add up their value versus their asking price. So on one hand, we have Vanner A, we'll say, because I'm not going to use any names. She is a mare for sale right now that is way out of my price range for an upfront cost on a horse. But I'm using her as an example because I want you to see the value and behind pricing a horse at that level. And then we're going to have Vanner B, who is a really cute filly, and she's got not much experience. She doesn't have much of a background genetically, but she's got potential. So we're gonna look at her for cost comparison, and hopefully that will help put into perspective a weanling foal that is for sale for $6,000 versus a mare that is for sale for $30,000. So we're going to cover Vanner A first. Her asking price is $30,000. Alrighty, so we're going to look at personal taste. Now, I already know that I like her, and her background pulls at my heartstrings, and so does her sweet, sweet mustache, and she is stunning and looks like a calendar horse. She's my personal taste right there. She's a winner. Now we have DNA verified genetics, and she has some of the best producing sires and dams in her DNA verified pedigree, so there's no doubt where she comes from and what her potential is based on her genetic pedigree. Now her sire and both of her grandsires are the only horses to ever win Get of Sires in this breed that I know of. And so she has proven winning show genetics in that pedigree as well. So big bonus. That adds a lot of value. Although you can't really put an exact number on that value, it still adds a lot of value. Not only does this add value to her, but because I plan on breeding, this will add value to her foals going forward. Alrighty, now we're on to age. And she is 3 years old right now, and she will be ready to be producing foals for me next year when she is 4. So right now she's ready to start riding and driving or anything else I might want her to do and excel in. So seeing as I want to breed and have her ready for breeding, it is important, and it helps me reach my breeding goals faster, that I only have, well, I guess now would be 7 or 8 months to wait to breed her. Now I can put a cost comparison value on her of about $18,000, which is, as if you remember, the $6,000 a year to care for a horse. So $18,000 for the 3 years that I didn't take care of her, and since I did not have to spend that money or time to get her to this age, that's an $18,000 value that I'd like to consider. Now we have the sex of the horse. She's a mare, and so that's a bonus because I'm wanting a female. So we'll include that into our consideration because that's what I want. Now, is she a proven breeder? No. However, her pedigree and the potential for her to be an outstanding broodmare is very high, and that potential is very valuable. So I am including that in assessing her value. Show status. Alrighty, so not only does her pedigree boast of show winners, but she herself has been very successfully shown. She has garnered multiple titles, multiple ribbons. She's even won Grand Champion Mare and Reserve Champion overall in a couple of shows. And this adds significant value because, again, it's notoriety that I did not have to invest my time and money in to get her there. Now, where I'm paying for this, though, is in her sale price. So I'm going to estimate a value of, and I'm way undervaluing it here because I know it costs more than what I'm putting a value on to show her, but I don't know the exact costs. But just for the sake of this example, I'm going to put a value of $4,000 a year. She has been shown, and she's been shown for 2 years, so that would be $8,000 plus an additional $300 a month over 2 years for her training and conditioning to be in tip-top shape for the shows. That is a very cheap $15,200 that I didn't have to spend in time and money to garner her ribbons and titles. So this inadvertently will place a higher value on her offspring as well. GVHS registration. She definitely is, so I won't have a need to incur the costs and hassle of registration. I might want to invest in getting her evaluated. However, her show record does speak for itself, and unless an evaluation is close to me, I probably won't pay extra to have it happen. Personality. Alright, so I have had the pleasure of meeting this horse in person, and I fell in love with her the moment that I saw her. She absolutely tickled me. She's a bit of a joker, and I can tell that she's really, really smart, and she's going to be challenging in a good way because she's not going to be super easy, lazy, easygoing. She's going to have some get up and go to her, which I really appreciate. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, isn't she a vanner and supposed to be calm and whatnot? Well, she is. She definitely is, but she's definitely got an interest in what's going on around her, and she's very curious, which means that she's going to have some get up and go to her, and she's going to want to engage in what you're asking her to do. So, which is very important. And even though the temperament of this breed is supposed to be very mild-mannered and calm, I believe that they can be very mild-mannered and calm and still motivated. And that's very important to me. Because otherwise, riding and driving and showing off the horse, basically, isn't quite as fun. Because a horse that puffs himself up to show off for everybody is a lot more exciting to watch than a horse that just, plods along. Anyway, personality-wise, she definitely fits the bill of what I am looking for and what I would be happy with on an emotional level. So she doesn't just fit me on a breeding level, she fits me on an emotional level as well. So I really like her, and that's a big plus. Alrighty, since I calculated the potential costs of her training for show under the show category, it is my understanding that she is starting training under saddle now. So let's assume that she has had 1 month of training on site. Now, training a horse for a specific discipline is a lot more expensive than training a horse in the basics of showing, which is just, being able to walk on a lead and take direction and all that kind of stuff. So that's a value of $500 a month that I'm going to place on that specific discipline for riding. So $500 value for that 1 month of riding training. Now, when you consider all of these factors and you add up what it potentially saved me in costs to raise her on my own and to get her to the status that she is at this young age, you get a value of $33,700. Her list price is $30,000, so her seller is not making a profit in any way, shape, or form at this price. You also have all of the other things that can't be valued in money, and that's where you're going to have to make a judgment call on what's going to be right for you in the long run. So, is this mare worth her $30,000 asking price? To me, Absolutely. And to clarify this even more, let's dig deeper. So now we're going to flip things around to the other side of the cost spectrum here, and we are going to add in Vanner B into our comparison here. So, as I mentioned in the first video of the Buying a Horse series, the Vanner prices varied. So I've seen some listed as low as $4,500, and I've seen some listed as high as $50,000. Now, Vanner B, for this example, she is a foal that I have seen for sale recently, and she's a nice looking filly, and her asking price is $6,000. Personal taste. She is so cute, it hurts. It physically hurts because she's so cute. You just want to squeeze her little face and she's just adorable. Alright, I'm going to stop that. DNA verified genetics. Alright, only sire and dam are available through DNA testing, and neither one of them have any show accomplishments, nor are they GVHS registered, but they are a consistent producing pair, and from what I've seen, everything looks fine. They're nice examples of the breed. Age? She's only 6 months old. And since I know how I want to train and handle my horse, I can train her easily at this age without too much additional cost to me. Now, her being so young is not a negative for me, except I don't really know exactly how she will mature, except if I were to look at her full brothers and sisters and see what they look like. Now, I haven't seen any photos of any mature siblings, so her sire and dam is how I can base my assessment. And since her sire and dam are both nice examples of the breed, I assume she's probably going to be nice. Sex. She's a filly. Win, win, win. That's what I want. Proven breeder. I certainly hope not. No, but looking at her sire and dam, their production is consistent, so the potential is there. Show status. What's a show? That's what she says. So no show background. GVHS registration. No, but she can be, and it's possible with time and effort and paying the fees to get her registered in the GVHS registry in what they're calling a pre-stud book. Now, to get her fully registered with the Gypsy Vanner Horse Society, that will depend on what she's evaluated at maturity. And since GVHS is my preferred registry, it will be important for me to get her evaluated at maturity. That way she has full registration. Now, this is a future expense that I will need to consider against her. Now, so it's going to take 4 years for her to reach maturity. So that's $24,000 plus the evaluation, travel, and show fee for one evaluation. I'm going to estimate that at about $1,500, depending on where it is and how far to travel and how long to stay boarded at the evaluation site. So it very well could be way more expensive to get her evaluated. Personality. Alrighty. I haven't met her yet, and I haven't met anyone she's related to, so I don't know if we'd mesh well together yet, but I will make a point to visit and interact with her, because I believe wholeheartedly that you need to put your hands on a horse before you buy a horse. I think it's very important to establish that you have a connection with this horse, and that your personalities mesh well together. And yeah, I think that's important. So I will make a point to visit her and to meet her sire and her dam before purchasing. And since they are all located on the same farm, that's going to be another expense to consider of about $1,000 to travel and just to go visit her and see her before I even put any money down on her. Training. Alright, so she can do all the things that babies need to do. Clip, load, tie, stand for the vet and the farrier, lead, etc. Assuming that she is really used to being handled, and that will be determined when I go and visit her, which is another reason why visiting and seeing in person is very important. So her training will be assessed when I visit her, but assuming, for the sake of argument, that she is as trained as a 6-month-old foal can be, this value to me is priceless. But only if it's truly there. Basic handling training done by breeder will be a value of about $300 a month, which is an $1,800 value. So now let's add everything up and put all of this in perspective.